Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts with a very short video today because I hadn't actually planned to film this card. But when I nearly finished it, I thought it might actually be worth sharing how I created this because, yeah, I think it'll be a very nice card and very useful. I had a request of my other half to make a card that involves, well, it's for a friend one of his friends who will turn 60 on Tuesday. And he said he wanted to include the fact that this person is getting his bus pass, but also he's in a curry club, which means they go for curries quite often. So he wanted me to incorporate that in the card, and I had an idea and then decided, well, it has to incorporate the bus and it has to incorporate a curry house. I have got die cuts for neither, really, but I have got an ice cream van die, and I just used this. I cut the top bit off and I basically put the bus company on there. These wheels actually come from the inner bit of a mandala die. So my tip for you is, if you haven't got the dies that you think you need, try to have a look in your stash and see what you have got that might actually work. This bit I just printed off and I drew onto the paper there, and just inserted a little photo of the gentleman. You don't know him, so I think I can show him here without blurring the picture. And this one is actually a die cut for a beach hut. But again, I think by just putting tandoori on the top, and basically that's another tip, this what looks like crafts cardstock is actually packaging from something. So I just kept that. It just happened to be on my desk, so I just grabbed that and I thought that would work well. I have backed both pieces with some vellum. This one's actually a double piece because this is a bit that will go into the slider card, and I wanted this to be sturdy. This will just go in the background. And another thing I wanted to share with you, this I printed off on my computer and the bus company, but I forgot to print something off here, and I thought I have got my Dymo label printer, and I didn't know until a few months ago that you can actually get golden tape and silver tape, so I thought that would be really nice. So I just printed it off there and just stuck it on. It's obviously self-adhesive. It's coming off a bit there, but I think I just need to press it down a bit more. So these are the bits I wanted to put on the slider card, but before I glue this all down, as I said, I decided to actually film this bit and talk you through what I have done. I have got a background for the card that this will all go on, and I have created this front bit, which is basically sort of almost half the size, and I just cut this off, but you can do this by hand, but I've got a die for this to give it a bit of a wavy line. And then I have created this slot, which almost goes from one side to the other. I just did this with the cutting function on my scoring board, but you can simply use a ruler and a cutting knife. It doesn't really matter how thin or thick this is, but you want to be able to move a bit of foam tape, which I will still have to stick down through this. I decided to go for this width because I saw in a video on YouTube that you can actually put a message in the background. So when the bus has moved to the side, it actually exposes the sentiment, "Happy 60th birthday, Paul." This is just stuck down underneath here. So as I said, that would be revealed. And the whole slider mechanism is so easy. All you need to do on the background is basically create a tunnel with foam strips. So it's just normal foam strips. These are really thick though. I said this before in other videos. Make sure if you use foam strips, you use one brand only, because foam strips have got different thicknesses. So I just used the full width here. And basically, sorry, what I did first, actually, I cut myself the bit that I want to pull out. I doubled this up, this cardstock, and I basically lay this down over the slot, and then that was my guide on where I adhere the foam strip. And I showed this before as well. Let me just grab this piece. When I want to cut slimmer strips, rather than taking it off the roll and cutting it like this, I put it on some release paper. This is just from my vinyl sheets, and it's so much easier then to cut it. So I just filled everywhere up so that when I will eventually stick it down, it means that this bit is moving very freely. Yeah. So what I need to do before I stick this down, first of all I need to adhere the curry house where it needs to go on the background, but I also need to put a bit of foam squares onto this bit here that holds the bus in place. So basically like this, I think like this I do on the wheels. No, I want it covered like this. So I need to adhere that first, because if I adhere this first like this, I might not be able to grab the strip underneath. So that's all that I need to do now, and I will show you how this functions when it's all stuck down. So I've actually put a full strip here because that will fit completely behind the bus, and I also printed off a little pull sign for the end here, so the recipient knows that they need to pull it off. So I'm going to let this down, take the release paper off, which is not always easy with this cheap stuff, and as you can see, if I lay it down, that actually will be difficult to take off. So I'm pressing it from behind, pressing it there, and then put the bus down. So, and once I've pressed it down, it will actually hold the strip in place. So now I can take all the release paper off. Sorry, I need to put this, glue this down first, and then I'll take the release paper off and we'll stick this down, and I'll show you then how it works. Okay, I will probably add a sentiment at the top here because it is a bit naked, or maybe just some clouds, I don't know yet. But this is how the mechanism works. So, revealing the sentiment here, happy 60th birthday Paul, and then you can actually pull it back and it moves very freely, so no issue there with stickiness or anything. And there we go, there's Paul taking the bus to the Tandoori house. I think it's good fun, and I think I met the brief of my other half with a request making a card including the bus pass and the curry house. If you like this video, you might want to give me a like, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos that I'm making. I usually post 2 or 3 times a week, depends on how much time I get for crafting. Yeah, I'd be happy if you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon with the next video. Hi everyone, it is a day later and I thought about processing the video, and then I realised when I wanted to put this in an envelope that actually the pull tab was too long. So when you create your card, either make the card slimmer to incorporate the pull tab, or make this really slim, this bit that sticks out, so it will actually fit in your standard envelope. You obviously do have the choice of creating a bigger envelope, but I didn't want to do that, so I basically printed this off again, made sure it's as close to the edge here as I could go, so it's still visible that you need to pull, and I just cut a bit off, so that was easy for me to remedy. I actually put it around the back a bit as well, which nobody will really look at. So that's something to consider when you create your card. As I said, if you've got bigger envelopes, that's not an issue, or you just, create a slimmer card and then keep that in mind that you need to adjust the length here. Okie dokes, see you soon.